never live with a woman before you're officially married. This is coming from a man, guys. So if you're a man here, learn from this guy. Hey good people, welcome and welcome back to Freedom with Frida. Just in case you're new here, hi, my name is FRIDAH NGUKU and this is the best place for you, so subscribe and join the family. A couple of weeks ago, I spoke to some of my girlfriends and I asked them to send me some of the things they'll tell a younger self. And within a day, within 2 days, everyone had just sent me, and some even sent me more than 10 because I had asked for 10. And really grateful. And I did the same day. I texted a few men friends and just asked them, send me some of the things you tell a younger self. So just wanted to get the girl side and the men side, and I can promise you there's a difference. So I did a video on the girl side. If you've not checked that, check on the description box below. And then now I am here with the men side of the story. Now for men it took days. Some even sent me, I think yesterday, like it took really time for men to send me. Others did not even bother. Now I have 3 men. I compiled 3 of them. I've written them down on this book. I transferred directly from my WhatsApp to this book, and I'm using their words, guys, like just how it was sent to me. That's how I'm reading it. So let's hear the men's side of the story. And this is very interesting because I realized men are very precise, like straight to the point, you know. And some of the answers are actually hilarious. And yeah, so let me just share that story with you today. I'm going to start with the points I got from a friend called Ferdinand Omondi. I called him Fedi, and he sent me 10 of them, and some of them are just like hilarious. Some of them I'm learning as a lady. So let's get on to it, but before that, subscribe. His first point was, there are 2 grave mistakes on the path to success. One is not starting something and the other one is not finishing it. So what he was trying to say is, if you want to succeed in life, you gotta start something. And again, when you start, it doesn't matter how hard it gets, make sure you finish it, because there's starting and there are those who start and they get to some point, they get stuck or they get exhausted and they're like, they don't see the results and then they stop. And you could stop when you're almost there. So start and finish what you've started. Point number 2 is, do not ever stop your fitness regime. And this is someone who really does a lot of exercise, a lot of, bodybuilding and those stuff. And I think he understands what it means to keep yourself fit and what comes around exercise and fitness. Because I can promise you, if you're used to fitness regime, if you're used to exercise and then you stop for a while, for like a month, for 3 weeks, even sometimes a week, it just feels like your body is training. Like you're struggling, like you don't feel yourself anymore. So exercise and fitness is actually very key, and even what you eat. Point number 3, never live with a woman before you're officially married. This is coming from a man, guys. So if you're a man here, learn from this guy. He's late 30s, so learn from this. Never live with a woman before you officially get married. Point number 4 is, sex is the worst of drugs. This got me, like I was like, oh god, this is coming from a man. Sex is the worst of drugs. I think what he meant is sex can actually be very addictive and it's actually worse than drugs. So you can imagine what effects drugs have on people. Sex can have worse. Okay, point number 5, in times of extra cash, draw it into the saving account. And I totally agree with this. After going through my personal finance journey last year, guys, if you have anything extra, just save it, just invest. Don't think of, now I have extra, let me just go and party. I have extra, let me just do something like saving or investment. It's gonna save you tomorrow. Some of guys who are really doing well with this quarantine are people who really saved or people who really invested, and those who do not just use their money anyhowly. Point number 6, everything has a reason. I think sometimes we go through a lot in life and at that moment we don't realize the reason. We don't see the purpose for all that struggle and battling whatever it is we're battling until later in life. So this is what I would say. When you're going through something, trust the process, because there's a reason you're going through that. At the end of it all, if you look back after now the whole thing is done, you're going to definitely see why you went through that. Point number 7 is, yes, God listens even when you think he isn't. Totally agree, like fully agree. Sometimes we pray, sometimes we ask God for things, sometimes we are kneeling down, we are, every day, and then you feel like, okay, God, really, I've been doing this for months, I've been doing this for years, I'm not seeing results. So he said God listens even when we don't think he does. Trust your journey, have faith in him. And like the story of Hannah, who waited for a kid, she kept praying, and it took years, but finally somehow God came through. So I think it's just that we need patience when it comes to talking with our God, and asking and requesting and praying, because it takes time sometimes for him to just give us our yes, and trust that his timing is always right. He's never late, he's never early, he's always on time. Okay, point number 8 is learn a new language at the earliest of opportunity. And I think this is really right. I'm really bad at it, guys. I've never even thought of it, and yeah, I think I need to reconsider that. Point number 9, have friends that build and challenge you, even if it means dropping some homies to make space. I totally agree. Don't be this person who is stuck with these friends because you guys went to high school together, you were in college together, or you worked together, and then you just feel like you need to keep keeping them. You feel like you need them around even when they're not growing you, they're not challenging you, they're not supporting you. You need to get to a certain stage in life where you're like, you know what, I've been with you for years and it's okay to just let you go. Let me create space for someone who can challenge me. And it's okay to lose friends, it's okay to outgrow, I'll use the word outgrow, it's okay to outgrow friends, it's fine. And his last point was, if it's not your mother's or your company's, do not be emotionally attached. Kaziwisha. Totally agree. And coming from someone like me who was once sacked, guys, hey, this is so damn true. Don't be emotionally attached to your job unless it's your mother's or unless it's your own company, because guys, you might wake up today and you don't have a job, and guess what, no one really cares. Imagine, like, you get released today, like you sacked, and that's it. They replace you the next day and they forget about you. Not even your colleagues will really want to know where you went or how you're doing. That's just it. That happened to me. So I agree with you, Fedi, that don't be emotionally attached to your job. Think beyond that. Have your own something running at the side. Do just something that will grow you, because you never know. You might wake up today and someone just decides you're supposed to be jobless, and that happens. Let's move to the second guy, and his name is Ian, late 20s. And this is what he said. First point is always keep an open mind. This is someone who reads, so totally agree. We share a lot of info with Ian on reading and all that. So when he says keep an open mind, trust me, I totally agree. I've been one person who had this closed mind for a very long time, but I've learned to just be open-minded and be open to more ideas, to opinions from people, to changing some of my ways, to changing my thinking and all that. So always have an open mind. Point number 2, be a student of life, never stop learning. Great. And we're living in an era where there's a lot of channels to learn from. There's social media, there are people around, there are phones, books. Always keep learning, guys. And learning does not mean like go to school. It's learning from people who are doing well, better than you, learning from someone who is your mentor, learning from someone who failed and managed to get out of that failure and come out strong. So keep learning at every single moment of your life. Don't lose that momentum. Point number 3, follow your passion. This is what he wrote. Follow your passion, boy. No matter how difficult it may seem, trust me, it's worth your time. Totally agree. Follow your passions, follow your talent, your gifts. Sometimes it feels like it's really very hard, but just keep pushing, keep pushing. At the end of it all, it's worth it, because something about passions and talents is you don't really struggle that much. Like it just comes naturally to you. So even if it does not bring the fruits as fast as you want it, it doesn't feel like you're straining. So keep doing it, and you never know what will happen. Point number 4, don't do nothing because people around approves of it, do it because it's good for you. I think what he's trying to say to do is, don't be there and do things because people are like, yay, it's cheering you, and you know it's not a good thing. Do what is good for you, because at the end of it all, you're the one to take responsibility. Point number 5, get a mentor. Who? If you're 17 to 25, Nini, even if you're 30, 40, you need a mentor. And one thing I'd say is, we need to start having mentors at the earliest you know how. Like, if you're a parent, please get a mentor for your kid when they're really very young. A mentor is someone who really is going to help you in your career journey, in your business journey, in your self-growth journey, self-development. In so many ways, get the right mentor and your life just transforms for the best. Point number 6, always trust your inner genius. Never be too scared to take risk. I've been one person who's been very scared of really taking risk, but on the side of money and investment, like taking loans, like getting into new ventures. I really overthink it, but I've learned that risks, the higher the risk, you know, the more returns you get. So go for those risks, fail and learn from it. Point number 7, don't be too proud to ask where you don't know. Wow. Ian, this one, you hacked it. I agree. Always learn to ask. Guys, just imagine it doesn't cost much to just ask. And there's nothing as stupid as just doing something when you have someone you could ask and you never ask because you're like, how are they gonna think of me? They're going to think I'm not this kind of person and all that. Just ask. Imagine you have nothing to lose. In fact, you have a lot to gain. Okay, so learn to ask. It doesn't matter, are you asking people, are you asking Google, are you asking are you researching? Just learn to ask. If you don't know, just ask. And sometimes it could be as little as asking even your daughter, your kid, just ask for help, guys. And sometimes it's God you need to ask help from. Then the other one is, the only person responsible for your current situation is you, and also getting out of it. So you can be anything, and all you need to do is want it so badly. Someone said, I think it's Steve Harvey. Yeah, be very hungry for what you want. Okay, be very hungry for your dreams, for your goals, for your passions, for whatever it is you set your mind on. Be very hungry that you don't want to leave it until you're satisfied. So he said, the only person responsible for your current situation is you. So you can always transform your situation. You can always change where you are to where you want to be. You have that, what would I say? You are responsible for that. You have that mandate. You are the only person who can change your situation. Okay, so own it and be hungry for it, hungry enough that you don't live until you get it. Someone said, pray until something happens, work until you get it. Just go for it without really giving up. And people who really go for things without giving up, they end up getting them. People who are consistent and persistent in whatever it is they want to achieve, they always achieve it. Point number 9, your mind is the only permanent asset. Invest in it because it cannot be stolen or used up. I totally agree with this, Ian. It's the only asset, by the way, the only one that cannot be stolen. Like, do you know you work with your mind every single minute of your life? Like, you work with it. Anything you put there, you choose what to put. Literally, you choose what to put into your mind, and no one can come and just open your mind and get away with your knowledge. That is the investment you need to do much. So the much you can do to yourself is invest into this. Put a lot of knowledge, put a lot of good and positive stuff into your mind, because that's the only thing that you're going to hold for a very, very long time, well, until you die. The last point is, happiness comes from within, so choose it every single day. Now, the last person, his name is Dr. Wasonga. Yes, he's a doctor. So what he said is, use some of your help money for business. I think this is coming from campus life. And this is something I really regret. And that's why I did a video on some of the businesses you can do just in case you're in campus. I'm going to leave a link on the description box so you can watch that video, because I thought I wasted a lot of my money when I was in campus, and I would have done a lot with it. I would have invested, I would have taken some courses, because sometimes you're not that busy in campus, and that would have been a good thing. So he said, use some of your help money to start a business, and I agree with that. Point number 2, plant at least 1,000 trees, not just 5. He said that 5 years ago he planted 5 trees, and now he's looking at them and the land has 5 trees, and he's like, I wish I planted 1,000. You know, when you're doing something right now, you're not thinking about 10 years, but now 10 years later you're like, I wish I did more, because now the results will be seeing 5-10 years later. So if you have the chance to do something like plant a tree, plant many. Point number 3, read more every day. Oh, this one I will insist and insist and insist. Kindly, guys, just learn to read. Reading just improves your mind, your thinking capacity and capability, the way you do things, how you interact with people. Reading is everything, and most of successful people read at least a book a week, guys. Like, it's that serious. Point number 4, I should have gone to campus. This one, for him, he wrote very personal points, so I tried to transfer them to like general, but this is what he said: I should have gone to campus bar once in a while, because my friends who drank in those days, like campus days, they don't drink now, yet I started drinking after campus. So I think what he's trying to say is, have fun during your campus days. Do what campus people do, you know. If you have to go partying and all that, do that, other than waiting until now you're after campus and that's when you're doing it. So what he's trying to say, I think, is enjoy your moment at that particular moment. If you're in campus, be a campus student, you know. Do more, yes, but don't skip that stage. Point number 6, watch less of TV. Whew. Yes, guys. Less of TV, like less of it, guys. Invest in other things. TV, no, just no. Point number 7, learn a skill every now and then. This one I learned 2 years ago, and it's one thing I've embraced, and I pray that I keep doing it. It doesn't matter how old I'll be, I'll keep looking for a way to just learn something, you know, a skill. Just, you never know, sometimes you don't even know where you're gonna use it until you find yourself using it and you're like, wow, so this thing was actually gonna help me. And for him, he gave me 8 points. So the other one is, my failures or successes are not yours, make your own. Wow, this one is something I've never thought of, but I think he's really very right, that we need to take risk and make our own mistakes, fail our own way, and then from it we learn from it. Don't look at people's successes and failures and be like, I want that success. Take your path. Don't feel like I have to go in a certain way because someone went a certain way. Make your own mistakes and learn from them, because sometimes our own experiences teach us better lessons, and we learn more when we go through failures. We learn more when we go through bad experiences, when we fail, from our own experiences. And I was speaking to a sister some time back, and we were talking about relationship, and I was saying sometimes people need to just go through heartbreaks, like their own heartbreaks, for them to just learn how to love themselves. Because this issue of people learning through other people, it doesn't make as much sense as when it's coming from your own experience. So make your own mistakes, fail your own way, so you can learn from it. How was that? For men, I think it was really interesting, and I loved it. Thank you so much to everyone who came through for me to just send me those answers. I really appreciate. Thank you, Fedi. Thank you, Ian. And thank you, Dr. Wasonga. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. Stay positive, stay focused, always speak well of yourself. And until next time, bye.